Hi, friends. Welcome to the Cozy Cushion. It's Natasha, your host, here today broadcasting on Ruby Tuesday about the 10th and final ancient scroll, which is faith. Faith sometimes is very easy to hold in our lives, and sometimes it's very hard to hold as well. So, a situation that was kind of brought up the topic of faith for me today was a desire to sell a very special dish set that my mom had given me on Marketplace. And I needed to have faith because it was very important to me. I'm a very sentimental person. And I also am very much into regenerative farming, and I'm also into recycling. I'm an avid recycler, so I recycle anything that I can. Everything from my compost, from my chicken coop, to plastic containers, and even secondhand items. Any clothes I have, I like to give them away to somebody that may be able to use them, even if it's their work clothes or what have you. So this dish set sat in my basement for about 3 years because it was sentimental to me. And as some of you know, my mom passed away um, a while ago, and I have my own house now, and I'm going through all of my things and getting rid of all the things that no longer serve me, as well as recycling items is something that's very close to my heart. My mom really loved secondhand shopping, whether it was art and making things with her own hands. So she knit her sweaters, knit socks, and arts and crafts were something very big with her, as well as um, I don't think very rarely did we ever have new clothes. We always had secondhand items and hand me downs handed down from one of us to the next, and so on and so forth. And I really, really miss that about her. So this dish set didn't have sentimental family value. It was actually something that was given to my mom. My mom knew I would like it, which I did. I absolutely loved this particular set. It was just too big, and I didn't need to utilize it all, but I also wanted somebody to have it that would mean something too. So I had to take a leap of faith. And believe it or not, these are the things that make me anxious in life. I get stuck in my own head, and I find it very difficult for whatever reason to move through these changes in my life. So cleaning out my house, my basement, sorting through years of memories and things, and separating them into garbage, things that we've used and loved that no longer need to stick around, have use to anyone else, donated items, things that other people can use, as well as things that I love. So things that I love, I want to unpack and have a special place for them. So the other day, I needed to have faith and take action because it's been a very long process for me. I find it very emotionally difficult for whatever reason, and I'm sure some of you may be able to relate to this story. So having faith turned out good for me, and it turned out to be a very special moment. That's where I'm going with the story. So I took this sentimental, not a family heirloom dish set that was just given to my mom. It was regifted and handed to a couple people. It was given to me because my mom felt like I would really love it, which I did, and I decided last week to put it on Marketplace and put it available for someone else to love. And so the first person that sent me a message loved it, but wanted to separate the items and only wanted a few of the items. and her family had sentimental value to this particular set. So I thought that was really sweet, and I apologized and said, I really don't want to separate this set. Intuitively, I kind of had it in my heart, and I kind of said to my mom, and I talk a lot about spirit on this particular channel. I kind of had it in my heart, like, Mom, help me out with this one. Find the perfect person for this set, and it will just mean a lot, and it will be easier for me to let go. And I wanted to feel good about that. So, sure enough, I got a message early this morning. I got it late last night. I just didn't see it till early this morning. Somebody had sent me a message and just said, "Is the dish set still available?" And I said yes. And they basically made arrangements right away. They came quite a drive, almost 2 hours, an hour, give or take, almost 2 hours, to drive here to pick up this dish set, because it was a young couple. And it's so ironic, and having faith that this is just a great story of how things just turn out for the best sometimes. So this young gentleman drove quite a distance to come here and get this particular set, because him and his young wife just purchased their first home, and she's seen this set. She absolutely fell in love, and she didn't have a dish set, but she wanted one large enough, and this was a very large dish set with the whole set. And she felt it was perfect, and she was so excited because she could have Christmas dinner. She could invite her family over and have plates and dishes and cups and mugs and everything for everybody. And what really hit me in my heartstrings and told me that it was so important for me to hold faith that this dish set would find the right place. It was a little farmhouse, and they plan on having a little farm and starting a homestead, which is the exact same thing that I'm doing here in my life space. So I thought that was so interesting. He thanked me so much. He appreciated it so much. He told me how much I made his day. He's going to get husband of the year. And I thought, and I kept thanking him too, because it was just like spirit of my mom aligned the perfect buyer of this dish set to be absolutely perfectly coordinated in absolute beautiful faith to come together and not only give me a really good start to my day, but it was a really beautiful exchange of two people that had great appreciation for one thing, and just had a genuine happy moment of sharing an experience of, now I know this new family in their new house, their little country homestead, is going to have this set of country stoneware that both my mom and I love so much. We didn't utilize it in our own home, so it wasn't a family set, but it will be their family set. And that's the exact reason that my mom got it. She was going to use it and just realized that it just wasn't for her. Maybe, so she gave it to me, because, I could use it, and I thought I would use it because it's a beautiful set. And like I say, it was sitting in my basement. It was kind of making me sad, and it was weighing heavy on me, because I honestly felt that there was a family looking for it. So that's why I had faith, and I took a plunge and put it out there. And I'm just so grateful today that had happened. So what that means for the cozy cushion and holding faith, and what I want to remind you of in your own life, is sometimes life doesn't feel like it's going to turn out for us, and it's hard to hold faith. The same time, I was also having a beautiful time, with the exchange of the dishes and so on and so forth. I was also losing another chicken from my farm. I had a chicken a little while ago that had become egg bound and was having some issues. She was a little bit older, and sadly, she didn't make it. And then I had another chicken that had another similar experience. So it was interesting to me, and holding faith, that even though a part of my heart was feeling hurt because I felt like, my little farm was falling apart, was losing chickens as I got new chickens and so on and so forth. So sometimes life doesn't always feel perfect, and it doesn't always feel good. In the same day, we can have many highs and lows, and the important thing is to keep striving for more of those moments, because I've realized by holding faith and love in my heart and in my home and in my space, and working really hard to maintain a sacred space, recommit myself to my own personal goals, because it's very easy to let things go, and not in a good way. We can let things go and forget that we need to put the energy and consistent action into the dream that we want to live, or the life that we want to live. Doesn't have to be a dream, just a life that we want to live. We need to have faith that it's going to pan out for us. So I just wanted to remind you that no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how hard it gets, have faith that there's good things that can happen. There's good people out there, and there's good opportunities to level up in your own life. One of the things about faith is, and how we build spiritual strength with our faith, is oftentimes we have to ask. We have to put ourselves out there, and we have to accept what we get back. And that's a very brave thing to do. No matter how little a deed it is, whether it is to gather up all those old toys that have been sitting in your children's bedrooms that, they're now riding bikes, they're outside doing different things, and those baby toys are clutter, but they're so special to you. You have so many memories with them, and they're in good condition. I encourage you to beg them up. Decide what you would like for those items, and then pay them forward. So for some of us, it might be just a cash exchange, a small cash exchange. It might be a donation. It could be a giveaway. Somebody that just had a new baby, and you reach out to them and just say, hey, I had some younger children's toys. Would you like to have them? It can really make somebody's day. And our world is so full of overconsumption. We overconsume our food, we waste our food, we overconsume with clothes, and so many things. And I just am a firm believer that having faith and turning things over and sharing what we don't need can be a really good exchange of positive energy, and can add to our faith muscles. And I encourage you to do the same. It's really hard to stay on track, and I'm finding it difficult, honestly. As this YouTube channel goes on and goes forward, I really will someday have an announcement that I've gone through all the boxes that I have. I've completely unpacked in the house that I own, and everything that is here is everything that I love, and everything that I don't love has been paid forward to somebody that will love and share it with more people, because I have more than enough. And even though it wasn't always that way, I've always tried to hold faith at times when it wasn't that way, that it was just waiting for me across the finish line. So never lose hope. Never lose sight of what you want for yourself. It's not ridiculous. It's not too much. You're not too old. It's not too big. And it's possible. And you're worth it. And you deserve it. So I'm going to end this early today because I do have many distractions as usual. And I'm going to head back out to my chicken coop and do a nice clean and get all my chickens cozy for bed. So, friends, thank you once again for dropping by. Next week, I'm going to start a new video series. I think I'm going to get back on to the Movement is Medicine series and talk about more movement, more medicine, more of my personal training and yoga breathwork background, and bring that, maybe do some more videos like that for you. So if you're interested or you think that would be a good idea, please leave comments below. If you have something in your life that you would like to have faith with, but you just are having a hard time finding it, there's a lot of suffering that's happened, and I don't want you to go through it alone. So please share. You can send me messages, reach out to me in the comments. We can start a connection there. But if you're having trouble holding faith, I would like to know. And if you love to hold faith and you can see the positive in all that, I would like to know that as well. So take care, as always. You are loved by me, and I'm going to see you next week. So take care and stay safe.